Yo, what is going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes here, aka the Clockmaster. Today, we're here to talk about Justice League. Now, guys, just like my Wonder Woman review, I'm going to give you my 100% unbiased my unbiased review before I really talk about how I felt about it as a fan. So I'm going to just talk about it more from a critical standpoint, completely unbiased, so you guys can get a more realistic response from me. I'm going to try my best to be as honest as I can on this thing, because there's just so much stuff going on about this film and everything else, and you've heard so much stuff about this film, so many different reviews, but you haven't heard what I had to say about the thing. So I'm going to share, like I said, my unbiased review first. Then I'm going to tell you guys how I really feel about it after. And of course, this is no spoilers. This is spoiler free. I didn't write any notes because I didn't want to. I just want to speak to you guys just like that, raw, man. So anyway, let's just kick it off, man. Just keep it 100% honest with you guys. So I'm going to start this thing off, and before I do that, just subscribe if you're new. Subscribe if you're new, man. There's so many thoughts running through my head right now. But subscribe if you're new, if you want to see more reviews like this. And I have some cool stuff planned for Justice League. I want to get something done before the weekend is over. If I don't get it done, then oh well. But subscribe just to see what that is about. Okay, so I'm going to start with my negatives. Some negatives about the film, and then I'm going to talk about some positives about the film. Now, just as a disclaimer, if you feel in any way that what I'm going to say is going to influence how you feel about the film, then don't watch my review. Watch the film for yourself, then come back and watch this review and everything like that. If you don't care about that stuff, we'll just dive right into that. So, one of the things I would say is a huge negative about this film is, and I went with my buddy Dylan, we had a great time, is definitely the pacing of this film. He brought that up to me as well, and I completely agree with him. The pacing and the story. Now, you guys know there's so many stuff going into production with this film, with switching of directors midway, story stuff, all kinds of crazy things, you know, throwing out different ideas at the trash. All of that stuff added up to this film, and a lot of the problems that it had with it, especially with the pacing. I mean, there were times where it flowed very nice and seamless, and other times it was just like, you know, it was missing one or two things. And I guess you to another thing too as well. This movie is missing so many scenes. A lot of the stuff that we saw in the trailers did not make it to this film. And now, most likely, I saw a post that Dylan sent to me on Instagram. It most likely might get put over to the extended edition or the extended version of this film. When they release it on Blu-ray and DVD and digital and stuff like that, they may release an extended version of it, and all those scenes may be on there. But there were so many awesome, cool scenes and shots that were not included in this film. So you can actually tell going into it. I saw another reviewer talk about this too, and it's true, is that you can tell that a lot was missing at certain points, especially with the story. It was just a lot of things were missing from it. Another negative that I can say, because I don't have too many negatives, don't get me wrong, another thing I can say that was a big negative about the film was not so much Steppenwolf, because Steppenwolf brought a lot of stakes. I mean, he was a very menacing villain, but there was something missing from Steppenwolf. There was something missing from him. He wasn't like the A-list, most perfect, greatest villain you'll ever see to me so far in films, like the superhero films when it comes to stuff like Avengers and Marvel and Marvel and DC and things like that. I would say Loki was probably a more developed villain, but Steppenwolf wasn't really developed that much, and there was just some things missing from him as well. He could have been a lot better, and a matter of fact, even the choice of Steppenwolf could have been even avoided from to begin with since day one. But they chose to go with Steppenwolf, and they carried along with it. Like I said, he was a menacing villain. He did give the heroes a hard time. There were moments where it was like, yo, this guy's OP. But definitely a better villain. I wouldn't say he's a better villain than Ares. I wouldn't say that, but he was definitely more intimidating than Ares was. But they could have done more with Steppenwolf. Now, I'm really trying to think of negatives, some more negatives, and I can't really find too many of those. Like I said, I didn't have too many negatives. There were a few things, and some of the other negatives that I have are pretty spoilery, so I won't discuss that in this video. But definitely when I get around to seeing it again and I do spoilers and stuff, we'll definitely dive into that. But let's talk about some positives of this film. One of the positives of this film that you have definitely visuals. The visuals are a big step up from the clusterfest we had in Batman vs. Superman. It's nowhere near the visual stuff that we had for Wonder Woman earlier this year. Wonder Woman was just a visual masterpiece. I loved every scene and every shot that was in there. but this movie does sell it with the visuals. A lot of the character moments did work, and a lot of them were extremely funny. Some of them were very natural. Other cool moments that I won't talk too much about that really worked for the film. So they had some good character moments, and then of course the action in this film was superb, and it was amazing, and it was just a lot of fun with it. And there could have been some more things. It could have been a tad bit longer, this movie, but I see why they did it the way they did. But for, you know, going into just switching, you know, directors midway and having all these issues and reshoots and things like that, definitely you can tell this movie was just, you know, it went through a lot. This movie went through a lot. It's like, think of it as a, I don't know, like you have this one shoe that you've been wearing for a long time and it has holes in it and it has a few things. It's a good shoe. It's a strong shoe, but it's getting weary and it's been through a lot. And that's kind of what this movie feels like in a way. Another negative I forgot to point out too earlier was definitely the soundtrack. Danny Elfman could have done so much better on this soundtrack. It was not memorable. It was not a good soundtrack at all. Very mediocre at best. I gave it about a 6.5 rating on it. If you want to see my reaction to the soundtrack itself, you can click somewhere around here. It's up there. But the soundtrack wasn't that great. So that's a big negative for me. Okay, cool. Now the boring part is out. Let me talk about and tell you how I really felt about this movie. Guys, I loved this movie. I loved this film. It was a great film. I had so much fun at the theaters with this movie, man. Oh my god, like just thinking about it, just all the character moments and just seeing these characters on screen for me was just, it's such a huge thing for me because I love the Justice League and I love these characters. I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan, a huge Batman fan. I love Cyborg, especially Cyborg. He was a great character in this film. Cyborg was great. They did a great job with him. Ezra as the Flash was great. His moments were great. His moments weren't forced. It was very natural. His acting was superb. Jason Momoa, man, really killed it as Aquaman. Gal Gadot just really reprising her role as Wonder Woman and doing her thing. It was amazing. It was super amazing. I had so much fun, man, honestly. Compared to Batman vs. Superman, when I left Batman vs. Superman, I was slightly disappointed and I felt this sense of emptiness. But when I left this movie, I feel satisfied. I feel like it did what I wanted it to do. It got me excited, and stick around for those end credit scenes, man. Stick around for them. There's two of them. Oh my god, you're gonna really love it. They had some cool scenes and shots in here that was just super awesome, man. And I gotta say, about no spoilers for Superman, but Superman, the way how they did it, perfect. They really redeemed a lot of Superman stuff, man. So as a fan, guys, as a huge fan of these characters, I had a great time. And what I gotta say, man, if you leave this movie hating it, I said this already, I'm gonna keep saying it, that means you're taking life too seriously. Okay, you're just supposed to go into this. Yeah, you know what I'm finding recently too is a lot of people, they just they spend time just dwelling and hating on things, just being angry and being nitpicky and no, but this is this and no, but that is that. I hate this movie. No, sometimes Rotten Tomatoes. What you gotta do is just enjoy the movie. You gotta realize, man, this is the first time in many years that we're seeing all these great characters on the screen for the first time. And there's a lot of work that went into this, a lot of thought, a lot of idea, a lot of money, things, all of this stuff went into this film just to bring everybody's dreams to life. So don't worry about what the critics say, don't worry about what I say too, because this is just all my opinions, man. All these reviewers and stuff on there, unless they're being paid to say what they're being, you know, what they're saying, it's just all opinions. We're all just sharing our opinions here. So don't let what everybody's saying affect how you feel about this movie. If you love this movie all the way 100%, that's fine. Go for it. Don't listen to all these other people talking crap, man. If you love it, that's all that's important. If you love it, that's it. People hated Batman vs. Superman. I liked it. You know what I'm saying? People absolutely hate it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. People hate Man of Steel. I love Man of Steel. You know what I'm saying? Now, this movie is nowhere near as perfect as Wonder Woman was. Wonder Woman was a great movie, and it's nowhere near that level and quality. But it's so much fun, man. This movie is just so much fun. All the action sequences were great. They did deliver. All the Flash stuff was cool. Could be, you know, being a Flash fan. All the moment, it was just great. I had a great time with it, man. Seriously, I did. The fights with Steppenwolf, like I said, could have been better, but I loved them, and they were great. Cyborg, this movie really made me like Cyborg even more. Ray Fisher did a great job, man. I'm telling you guys, like, I was not so sure of the look. Even the look of Cyborg looked good. Like, it looked really good compared to how it looked originally from the trailers. Of course, due to final editing and things like that, they were able to make it look really good. So all in all, man, I'm giving this movie, guys, right now I'm sitting at a 8 or 7.5 out of 10. The most I'll give it is an 8. I want to watch it again and really dissect it and actually be critical this time. And then, you know, for the spoiler review, I'll give a different opinion there and see if my score changes. On a percentage scale, I would give this movie no more than a 70 or 75 at the most. But definitely wouldn't go past 80 though, because it has its issues. It does. I'm just being really honest with you. It does have its issues. But as a fan and as somebody who if you love comic books, you're going to love this movie. You're going to have a great time at the theaters with this movie. You're going to have so much fun with it, and it's just going to be great. Go with your family. You guys, you know, if you have kids, your kids are going to love this movie. It's not boring where the kids can't watch it, compared to like Batman vs Superman had a lot of slow moments that the kids couldn't watch it. This movie, it has all that action in there. I liked it more than I liked Avengers. I liked it more than I liked Avengers Age of Ultron, and I liked it more than I liked Civil War. You know, I'm just being honest with you. As of right now, at the time of this video, I liked it more than those films. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I gotta say for this, man. If there's anything else that I want to say, I'll probably discuss it more in my spoiler review. But guys, like I said, so much fun. You're gonna love it. Go out and watch Justice League this weekend. I think it's gonna be great. Anyways, guys, this is my brief thoughts about the movie, what I thought about it, and just let me know in the comment section down below. No spoilers. What you thought about the film. I'm interested to hear what you got to say. Are you gonna watch Justice League? Yes or no? Let me know that as well. All right, guys. Without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Clockmaster out. Yo, thank you guys for watching this video. If you are new to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe by pressing that button right over there. And if you want to help support the channel financially, go ahead and visit my Patreon page by clicking that button over there. And don't forget to check out these brand new videos down below.